Up next, please welcome to the stage improvisers and other actors.
Improvisers and other actors, and we have 4 actors and 4 improvisers. The actors have scripted scenes that they have to stick to, and the improvisers have no idea what those scenes are, and they have to just react to whatever the actor says, and the actor has to stay with the script. So it's going to be 2-person scenes, and first will be Susan as the actress and Sabat as the improviser.
Listen, Catherine, what are you going to do with yourself? Look, I don't know. I might go to Miami. I might open up a cigar bar. I don't know. I might do anything. Don't you tell me you don't know. You're not the baby anymore, Catherine. But what are you going to do with yourself? Look, I'm not old either, okay, Mother? I'm 26 years old. I'm still young enough to find my fortunes in Florida. You want to get married? You don't want to get married. What are you worried about, Katie? Look, Mother, I just don't know if marriage is in my future. There's so many other ventures for me out there. I mean, I could get married or I could not. I could marry a man or I could marry a woman. Or I could open a business. As long as I Look, sit down. Okay. I want to tell you something, okay? Yes, please. Was there ever any fella he liked for you? Okay, it's true. There was one. No, there wasn't, was there? Only a mother can see through a daughter's lie. What does he care what he says? He'll say anything. It could be a prince they come here for you. It would be no different. How did you know, Mother? He is a duke. It's true, I have never actually met him, but I saw him walking across the street. He had a long ermine robe and a long stick with a globe on it. And I said, that is the man for me. So, what does that mean? I think it means that I go find him somewhere and we get married. Or maybe not, I don't know. It means that you got to be your own self more, huh? You still think like your little girl, you know, but nobody can make up their mind for you anymore, understand? And you got to give him to understand that he can't give you the orders no more. You're right. He was walking down the streets very forcefully. Almost like he was saying, come follow me, come follow me. That's because you still think you're a baby. That's true. It is so hard for me to get out of that idea of myself. I told you 50 times already, you cannot act the way you act. You still walk around in your sleep in front of him. That's true, I do. But it's because it's so hot here. Well, you can't do it. Or like when he comes home from work, you run to him and you throw yourself on him like when he was 12 years old. I know, it's disgusting to think about that. I act like I'm too young and it makes him seem like a pedophile. I don't know why I do it. Well, he'll be acting like the baby, and he'd be treating you like the baby, like when you sit on the edge of the bathtub and you talk to him while he's shaving in his underwear. I don't know. I thought that's what happened with dukes and their mystery lovers. I'm not telling you what to do. Thank you for respecting my ideas. And also for telling me all of your thoughts, Mother. Well, if you're going to be so sad here, then you're going to end up an old maid. Oh, how did you know I was so sad on the inside? I'm telling you, I'm not making a joke. I tried to tell you a couple of times this year that that's why I was so happy. You were going to go out and get work. You were going to be independent. I might still do it. Miami. It leaves in 3 days.
It's wonderful, you know, when the whole family love each other. But you are a grown woman.
All right. So next up is Rachel, the actress, and John, the improviser.
Joe, shouldn't you lie down?
I should. It was a bad concussion, and I'm trying to do too much. You're right.
Here, let me get this.
Thank you. I know CD players are outdated, but I love them. I never threw away my CDs. I kept every one.
You should lie down.
You're right. You're right.
On the phone, you said it was an emergency.
It is. I can't find my CDs.
You said you were laid up. I came all the way down here because I thought you couldn't get out of bed.
Well, I couldn't, and then when I realized my CDs were gone, I freaked out. I called you.
Now here you are, waltzing around the room. If it was just a minor injury.
Look, a semi-truck hit my Volvo. It was going 35 miles an hour. I was parked in a safe way. It hurts, Cheryl.
Curly, I drove for hours because you chipped your neck.
That's a medical term.
What happened?
I just told you, if you want me to recount the horror, I'll do it again. I was parked in my Volvo S60. It's blue cobalt. I was at the Safeway waiting for them to open, because you know I like to get their muffins in the morning. And I parked a little bit near the entrance, and a semi-truck was speeding in to deliver the muffins, and it hit me broadside.
Who tried to kill you?
You know, I got his name. His name is Gerald Carmine. He said that his wife just divorced him. He was late for work because he was filing the paperwork to finalize the divorce, and
Mom,
you don't care about
Mom
this.
tried to. You didn't mention that on the phone.
Look, I was scared of the CDs. They're still missing.
Say she hit you.
Yes, my mother hit me a lot when I was younger, okay? And I don't like to talk about it.
Did they see it? The person in the Plymouth?
Look, I had that photo album of all the bruises my mother gave me, and he saw it, and yes, I get hit by cars, I get hit by women.
Did anyone see it?
Yes. I also showed the photos to the police when they came because figured, hey, why not? I just got hit by a truck. Let's go into all my bullshit. She hit me a lot. She was an alcoholic. She liked Jameson. She worked as a paralegal. She wanted to be a lounge singer. What more do you want to know?
It's good to be home. I can only stay a couple of days. I'm teaching 3 courses.
That's great, honey. You're a really good philosophy professor. It's great to see you so happy.
Yeah, I know, Mom. Last time I had her committed for 3 months. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, if I could have had my mother committed, maybe I wouldn't be the scarred 35-year-old man that I am today.
Contend with.
Do what you want with your mother. I can't tell you what to do, okay? I made my mistakes. You need to make your own, honey. I can't.
Thank you.
Xavier, the actor, and Nina.
Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Really my pleasure. I mean, not every day you get to have prom night. I think I deserve several thank yous. I think you should say thank you the same amount of times as you said my
I'd be afraid.
You're shy? Come on.
My papa was bigger.
That is so funny that you guys can do. I knew you were close with your dad, but please don't tell me about it, Mr. Quiddle.
He was a full chief. His name was Tia Milituna. That means the pine that stands tallest on the mountain. My mother got twice his size.
I know your parents were drag queens, but
She wasn't big that way. She
you're
was.
the drag princess?
She wasn't Indian neither. She was a town woman. Her name was Brown.
You know, I like how close you are with your family, but I'd like to give you a chief name. Yeah. How about shines like a Christmas tree? With presents all around the bottom. I want to open a few more if you know what I mean.
She said she wouldn't be married to no man by the name of Chief.
Oh my God. I know what this is about.
But it wasn't only her that made him little. I mean, the whole town worked on him. Same way they're working on you.
Wait, we're 17. I mean, you're 19 and we're held back for 2 years, but I'm not ready for marriage.
It's the combine. They wanted us to go live someplace else. They wanted to take away our waterfall.
I'm not going to go chasing no waterfall. I just want to be a teenager.
In town, they beat Papa up and they cut off his hair. Papa's big. They're big. He fought it a long time till my mother made him too little to fight anymore. Then he signed the papers.
Divorce papers?
No, the papers that gave everything to the government, the village, the falls.
This is really depressing.
That's what
I want to hear about your family, but I want to meet your parents before you tell me this sob story.
That's what the government guy said. He said, here's this big pot of money. And Papa said, what can you pay for the way a man lives? What can you pay for his right to be an Indian? He didn't understand.
But I do. I understand. I know what it's like to be an Indian. I know what it's like to be whipped one. And whipped one again and again.
Neither did the tribe. They stood in the front of our door holding these checks, asking what we should do now, and Papa couldn't tell them because he was too little and too drunk. He kept drinking till he died.
I never told you this, but my dad was an alcoholic too. Okay, and last we have Katie as the actress and Charles as the improviser.
Mauritius is a paradise tropical island in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Africa, east of Madagascar.
And your family owns a house there?
But you have to know all of it. That's what's so fun.
I want to know everything.
That's what I remember about Mauritius. Volcanic in origin,
Wow.
surrounded by coral reefs, so what else? The Labordonnais orchards. Oh.
The Labordonnais orchards are written about in all the National Geographic magazines I've seen.
Look, her jewelry. Did you bring that?
I did. I want you to have all of them. No, none of it. I don't wear jewels.
Maybe not to anyone else, but to us.
To us, they will always be ours and hers together. I want to see you in those diamonds.
Let's see, what else do I remember about the ritual?
I thought a ring wasn't enough. All of my mother's jewels I give to you as my engagement offering.
I like the beach. Do you all that sand?
I have a feeling you want to change the subject.
Never been to the beach? Any beach?
I can buy you a real engagement ring if that's what you're interested in.
Never seen the ocean.
I thought a box of jewels. I really thought you'd say, oh, a box of jewels. Boy, my Aunt Henrietta would really be jealous that I got a whole box of jewels.
I just find that so...
So,
What? Why can't I even comment?
well, because it's so generous. It's so over the top. It's like the biggest expression of love you've ever seen. Is that why you can't find the word?
Of course you are. Of course you are. We don't have to talk about it.
That's all I can think about.
Where were we? They have this stamp, the Mauritians. That sounds like Martians, doesn't it?
Now you're just being silly.
Actually, it wouldn't have been the Mauritians. It would have been the British because they took it over back when they were, taking things over. And then, in 1947, they printed one of the first postage stamps on Earth.
It's maybe sapphires. Is that, did you prefer sapphires?
The head of the young Queen Victoria. I remember this.
She has some nice jewelry in that picture.
I have no idea how much it's worth. Besides the point, I couldn't possibly sell it.
You already have Queen Victoria's jewelry, and I'm dumb enough to give her what an
I'm sorry, you do realize that these are my stamps? He was my grandfather, he wasn't your grandfather. They're my stamps.
I liked your grandfather. Before he died, he said he wants me to marry.
But these weren't her stamps.
Whose stamps were?
They were my grandfather's stamps. They're not part of the general, this isn't, I'm sorry, can we stay on the point, please?
Good point.
I don't want to,
Will you marry me? Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
we're just having a conversation. About the stamps!
I'm talking about stamps, and I'm talking about love.
So we're having a conversation!
I want to stamp my love upon your arm.
Listen, and it would be terrible if we had to probate anything. That would take years and involve all sorts of legal issues. So it's great that we can talk about what's yours and what's mine.
Where there's a will, there's a way. I have the will.
I'm so glad to have my mother's stamps back. I don't know how they ever wound up in
We could honeymoon in Mauritius. And we could take your fucking stamps.
My grandfather and I spent so much time with these stamps.
We could take the urn with his ashes.
Making catalogs and lists and corresponding with other dealers. once, this was long before I was ever born, but my grandfather actually had.
Maybe you didn't hear me say I love you.
He actually had an extended correspondence with FDR over the 2-penny post office.
Who gives a fuck?
He wanted to buy it. But my grandfather would never let it go. We just wouldn't let it go.
Yeah. Stop it! Tell me what you think about me. Why won't you say yes?
Look, the inverted Jenny!
One more time for improvisers and other actors. Up next, please welcome to the stage, CrudeMechanicals presents Shakespeare.
Yeah. Good evening. Have everyone a seat. You do, yes, but they don't. Yeah. All right. Yes. No more drinks for the man in the front row. All right. So we need from the audience, we need a tragic flaw, and from this flaw we shall create a tragic pride.
Pride.
Hubris.
Pride.
I heard pride. First thing I heard pride.
Sire, your mother requests your appearance this evening.
Has my mother sent an apology?
Sire, no. Your mother regrets her
Then
earlier
my
comment.
absence shall my mother receive. Please do convey it thusly.
What? Madam, the sire is my son. Thy son. My son. My son, he regrets, and he is bitterly disappointed that illness precludes him from attending. Thou art lying, Vadilda. Thou liest to me about my own son, the fruit of my loins, my child. Your Highness, 'tis he sent you to do thus. I, your Majesty. Vadilda! Thou hast a commitment to me first, primarily to me. Your Majesty, my head spinneth. It does spinneth. Tis spinneth out of control. 'Tis difficult to be the main servant to your peace. What is the truth about this boy? He cannot leave his room, Your Majesty. What prevents him from leaving that room? I believe the Greeks called it agoraphobia. He has a great fear of the outside, Your Majesty.
My lord, it's a lovely day outside. Enter. Hello, my lord.
Laurencio.
It's a beautiful spring day.
Why then does the day not enter my room?
Well, then it wouldn't be outside among God's majesty. Perhaps.
Is there not God's majesty present in my chamber? Laurencio?
But perhaps.
And if I were to compare the amount of God's majesty in the outer world and the amount of God's majesty in this chamber, where wouldst thou find the greater amount? Where?
Right, there's not much comparison, really. I mean, your majesty is more majestic.
Then why does nature doth define?
Your complexion, milord, if I may speak free.
Speak freely? What means this phrase?
You look a little pinkish, blackish, sallow, gray.
And also hungry.
Oh, yes. A picnic, my lord. And that is a wonderful idea. I'll grab the pictures.
Tis a lovely day. I shall spread me meal and me victuals out on me blanket. Oh, tis a high tower. Tis a high tower. I have spied my lord in the window. Methinks perhaps shall I stay anon? He shall see me, and his eyes shall behold the loveliness that is me and my victuals.
Go thee ahead and prepare thy chamber in the outer space.
I hear him. Oh, perhaps I shall be a lady someday.
Milady, you'll have to move your blankets for the victuals. His Majesty, His Grace, is
His
present.
Grace Majesty?
Yes.
I am arrived.
My lord!
Lorenzo.
I was just getting thy tent set up. You surprised me. Shortly, perhaps.
None knows my tent as well as Lorenzo. Hello.
My lord, might I perhaps prepare a repast for thou? Oh, but thou look peaking.
Perhaps, my lord, I shall taste some of the food of milady and.
'Tis to be advised.
Lord, do not trust me. I am but a simple and loyal servant girl and shepherdess. Yes, both.
Dost thou value thy own trustworthiness above my suspiciousness and distrust?
My lord, I am quite disappointed in this man. I had thought that he would be kind and generous, but he's an asshole.
My queen, thou hast sought me out, an aged doctor trained in the pyramids of Egypt and the walls far Cathay. I know the humors of a man. I know his signs and symbols, and the wisdom of the Greeks is mine. And what wouldst thou have of me?
Fix my son. Fix him!
I think, your majesty, couldst thou be a bit more specific? What am I to fix? Is he in want of courage? And
He shall not leave his room. He shall dine with the scourge of our kingdom out in the open air and sup on her foods. This is no son of mine. He sups with this trash.
Where the horses have lain their excrement. He suppeth there.
At the least, that is most unsanitary. It strikes me as quite odd for a man who leaveth not his room to be thus.
Thou may instruct my mother that though I did deign to dine with trash, it in the very least was not trash, which still oweth me an apology, as does she, my mother.
I did follow that tortured syntax, my lord. May I say that I, who has followed the path of Hermes, Trismegistus, I, who have known the secrets of Solomon from the guardian of his tomb, I, who have walked the mysteries of the Orestes life.
Yes, you may say.
I'm just saying, thou couldst find a cheaper messenger if thou dost but want an apology. But while I am here, shall I not apply the leeches and give thee a posset composed of mercury and the dung of beetles?
My boy! You have brought him.
I have.
Excellent work.
Excellent stuff for a bonus. I'll leave.
We shall
I am here to receive that which was promised.
I of late have been very disappointed in you. Very disappointed.
These are not the words of...
What words didst thou expect to hear? Your Majesty, the French army approaches. Oh
More
dear!
surprising news!
What wilt thou do? Thou wantst power. Show thyself. Show thy word. The French approaches. What wilt thou doest?
Messenger!
Messenger, my son calleth thee.
My lord, my lady, I once again must remind thee, I am a doctor of much wisdom! I know!
Not you!
No.
Messenger!
Oh, sorry.
Approaches.
Vigilia.
Does that mean, Vigilia, an army approacheth upon our territory, or the French have come to sup with us?
To call, a social call.
Your Majesties, the French, they are not happy.
Be true your opinion. I want truth.
Their swords are drawn.
Swords are drawn.
They are alit upon horses.
Alit upon horses, son. Hear it.
Their armor is dusty and ready for war.
They have traveled from afar.
They have.
And dusted up themselves. What wilt thou do, son? Thy father were alive. Oh, that man, I'd ride that horse.
Lord Moran, we have received a message from the young king and his mother.
The old queen.
Yes, the old queen. They asked us to dine with them. It's the most unusual.
Oh! Pardon. When you said a massage, I assumed someone had come to palpitate your But,
She is not so old that I would turn that down.
I know what thou meanest. An invitation to dine.
To dine. Apparently, they believe that we are to negotiate.
We are indeed at the point of negotiation. That's the point of our sword.
Service the meal, Vigilia. Bring forth the French. Bring them forth.
Yes, at some point we need more servants. Yes. Entree, vous.
The way you butcher my language disgusts me.
Son, mock them, son, mock them.
Hello.
We are from France.
English wine.
Oh, dear God! Sacre bleu! This insult is not to be borne! We would have signed a treaty taking only half of your territory, but now we will have it all, for this is English wine!
It is, in fact, urine of the equestrian kind.
Golden horse piss, my lord, may I borrow the goblet? And thank you, and for you.
Oh, son, what wilt thou do?
If thou wouldst quickly apologize to me, then I may proceed.
A thousand pardons, gentlemen. What offense dost thou speak?
We shall begin to bind, milady.
To
Bind. We shall take you captive.
oh dear, he acted not, and yet his brother suffereth of the hands of this smoking French.
Save my mother better in such a situation.
What shall
Say it.
your father? Oh, that horse! Oh, Bertha.
You come with us.
Wait. We will negotiate with you, and we want our kingdom. And an apology for serving us horse piece wine.
And for serving me an apology?
Wait. Well, all right. I did not ride all this way to not use my sword.
Now you are to meet your match, they say.
Oh, mon Dieu! Le Duc! Le Duc, c'est mort!
Oh, son! How well hast thou done draws and useth thy sword? Do it again! Do it again!
Madame, perhaps if you nagged him not so much, you would not be distracted. I am an uninterested observer and not part of this family, but I have to say it is beginning to get on my nerves.
Hast thou parented? Dost thou teach me by thy book how to parent my own disappointing son?
That is what I
All
believe.
who have parents are wise in the ways of parentage, both good and ill.
Oh, I am reminded of something. May I take a moment? Yes.
Oh!
I apologize! I must take it and do it upon myself!
Oh, really? I thought you were occupied. I mean, you make my job much easier, so please go ahead, but, you know.
I would not let thy sword dip into my breast
That is not what
for
I
1,000! You have taken my boy, to whom I apologize! I cannot do it. Bedelia! Bedelia! Apply pressure to this flame!
With pleasure, buddy.
She has done it! She has leveled him!
All right, so let's see.
I am not dead yet!
I will.
My boy and I will cling for days!
Never such sweeter words have I
What
received.
did I do? Tell me what has made you thus hardened against
Well, this
me?
will take a while.
What did I do? Speaking of your father and that horse that I loved, who was the self-same man as your father. What did I do? Son! Listen, son, art thou alive?
It is I, the ghost of thy father, the centaur. I am freed from the lands beyond to come and escort thee both to heaven.
Across Styx! He hath come to take us across Styx!
Well, so Styx is Hades. We're going.
Oh, no!
So the great Dr. Egyptologist.
Oh, yes! The doctor! The Egyptologist!
I cannot stand to be in the same room with such a quack. I must back to heaven.
He wouldn't tell you.
Oh, the centaur!
I'm just a simple peasant girl. And here be my fiddles. Perhaps someone shall come along and see my beauty and my potential. Oh,
Yes, I'm a great Egyptologist. From what I understand, the queen and her son are both dead. And the French have taken over. And since you hang around the palace a lot, I was wondering if you could tell me where I shall receive my fee.
Your what?
My fee. My fees is the most considerable fee, for do you not know that I have trained in the feat of magi, and I have spoken with the Sufi themselves, and they... No one ever lets me finish my credentials. They are most impressive, but they will not grant me a fee out of thin air. You!
My lord,
No lord of mine, but the doctor, never mind, it takes too long.
he is dead. His soul has fled.
Couldst thou be more specific? He...
Your king.
Oh!
The king of this fair land has passed on.
My king, I'm a doctor, some great expense, blah, 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 foreign things. Okay, look. I need to go back from whence I came, but to do this I need a fee. Everybody looks blank when I ask for money.
Good sir. Oh, I have some mutton. I was going to feast on some mutton.
I am hungry. Couldst thou spare a bit for a poor old man of ancient age and great wisdom?
Please, sup with me.
I shall.
And we shall remember that in his infinite pride, he did bring his own demise.
Demise. Also despise. I didn't like it very much.
Oh.
So, we shall wait here between this world and the next. Or an emissary.
Queen Vidalia. It is a good sound.
We have hung on for days, as I have prophesied. We wait again yet for the centaur, my husband, a horse of fine hands.
I have returned. Art thou ready to go?
We are ready.
Then cling to my mighty muscles as thou had before when thou didst ride me, and we did create our son.